This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
More COVID-19 testing for parts of central Indiana that need it the most. Coming up, how the city hopes to stop the spread among people being disproportionately impacted by this pandemic. But first, some breaking news on another major event cancellation because of the pandemic. The Indiana Black Expo says it will cancel all of its planned summer events. Black Expo officials tell RTV6 they will cancel this year's summer celebration, including the concerts that have been scheduled for July. This year's summer celebration was supposed to help mark the Black Expo's 50th anniversary, but they now hope to have that celebration next summer. The Black Expo says they will try to hold the education and business conferences for summer celebration as virtual meetings. Also, Black Expo officials say this will cancel the fall's Circle City Classic game and parade out of an abundance of caution for public safety. Of course, more on that on the IndyChannel.com throughout the day today, but for now, we do want to get a check of our forecast. It's Thursday, and Todd, it is a gloomy Thursday here across central Indiana. What can people expect as they head out, maybe for their lunch hour?
You know, widespread rain here across central Indiana right now, Lauren. No matter really where you are, you're dealing with the rain. The good news is it's fairly light rain, and we have no threat of severe weather throughout the remainder of the day. Storm Team 6 radar shows you, though, the showers that will fall in northern locations here still. The only place that's getting a little bit of a break is up there in the Peru area, but light rain from Lafayette to Frankfort over to Kokomo into the Muncie area through the metro area. And look at some of that heavier rainfall now making its way into the Bloomfield area and towards Bedford as well. And this will start to lift its way to the north as we work our way throughout the course of the next half hour or so. So places like Bloomington, you'll be up next to see a little bit of a heavier downpour as this is all moving in part of an area of low pressure that is down to our south. The back edge is still well off to our west here from Champaign down towards the St. Louis area. So until that moves through, rain will be in the forecast. Temperatures will stay in the mid 50s for us. The steady rain should come to an end by about 4 o'clock this afternoon. After that, it'll still be damp, it'll still be dreary, and we'll still have some scattered showers that will be around. But we won't have that steady rainfall that's falling right now across the area. So there will be some improvement later on today, Lauren. And once we get past today and actually into tomorrow, a pretty nice forecast to round out the work week. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Well, we now know that COVID-19 is impacting people of color disproportionately. Now the city of Indianapolis and the Marion County Health Department are putting in extra efforts to stop the spread. This new initiative hopes to bring up to 3,000 coronavirus tests per week to the Marion County neighborhoods showing a higher risk of infection. The first testing site will be at Eastern Star Church in the Arlington Woods neighborhood. Now, that area has the highest COVID-19 infection rate in the county. Marion County is contracting with IU Health to get the testing supplies. COVID-19 has now claimed more than 700 lives here in the state of Indiana. Here are the latest numbers released just moments ago by the state health department. 45 more deaths reported, giving the state 706 since the pandemic began. As far as overall positive tests, the state is now above 13,000 overall, with more than 600 new cases reported today. We'll have more on these new numbers on Governor Holcomb's daily press briefing. You can watch that on RTV6 this afternoon at 2:30 and also at the IndyChannel.com. Well, more than 500,000 Hoosiers have now applied for unemployment benefits since the economic shutdown tied to the COVID-19 pandemic began. Today, the federal government announcing that more than 75,000 people in Indiana applied for unemployment benefits last week. As you can see, that number has been falling over the past several weeks, but keep in mind a typical week for the Department of Workforce Development before this pandemic saw them handle only about 2,500 benefit claims per week. Across the country, a staggering 26 million people have applied for unemployment over the last 4 weeks. That includes another 4.4 million reported last week. Even though people want to get back to work, a new poll shows that most Americans still support the strict stay-at-home measures in place. ABC's Inez De La Cutera has more.
This morning, the Labor Department reporting an additional 4.4 million Americans filed for unemployment last week, bringing the total number of jobless claims in the past 5 weeks to roughly 26 million.
In a weird way, I feel some comfort in knowing that we're not alone. This is happening to millions of people.
But even with the economic hardships, a couple of new polls, including a Kaiser poll out today, showing 80% of Americans believe the strict stay-at-home orders are worth it to save lives. Ford Fry is eager to get his 12 Atlanta restaurants back in business, but says the risk to reopen right now is too high.
The climate was that no one's ready to go out yet.
States try to figure out when and how to lift restrictions. Georgia's governor is sticking with his decision to reopen places like gyms, bowling alleys, and nail salons by the end of the week.
And listen, if people don't want to go, Martha, they don't have to.
But President Trump now criticizing that decision, even as his own campaign has been pushing Trump supporters to protest governors following the president's own guidelines to gradually restart the economy.
I want him to do what he thinks is right. But I disagree with him on what he's doing is just too soon.
Meanwhile, Dr. Rick Bright, who led the key federal agency that's attempting to develop drugs and a vaccine to fight the coronavirus, saying he was removed from his post, he claims, because he raised questions about the effectiveness of hydroxychloroquine, a malaria drug that's been repeatedly promoted by President Trump as a possible cure for COVID-19.
It could be a game changer, very powerful.
About Bright's accusations, Trump says,
If a guy says he was pushed out of a job, maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. I did have to hear the other side. I don't know who he is.
And today the House will vote on that new multi-billion-dollar relief bill, which includes funding for hospitals, testing, and the Paycheck Protection Program for small businesses. Inez de la Cuetera, ABC News, Washington.
Well, as part of RTV6's effort to help Central Indiana rebound from this pandemic, we held a virtual town hall last night with officials from the Department of Workforce Development. They answered a number of questions about applying for unemployment and when you can start to expect to receive those benefits. So if you missed the town hall, you can watch it right now at theindychannel.com/rebound. The city of Fishers is looking ahead to when Governor Holcomb gives us the okay for businesses to start to reopen. Today, Mayor Scott Fadness announced initiatives aimed at both helping small businesses rebound as well as promoting good public health. Starting next week, Fadness says the Fishers Fire Department will provide free COVID-19 testing to any Fishers resident who wants one. He also asked the Fishers City Council to create the city's own health department. Fadness also announced a number of programs for small businesses, including a loan program to help them reopen as well as access COVID-19 testing for their employees and customers. Well, they are working hard on the front lines fighting the coronavirus, and now hospitals have a new way to say thank you. Coming up, how you and your family can pass along well wishes to our healthcare workers.
I think we'll call that one done from all of us here. Happy painting. God bless.
Well, he wasn't born here, but he became a Hoosier icon. Next, we'll look back with an RTV6 visit with this legend and how he helped his former adopted hometown is planning to honor him later this year. Todd.
And Lauren, we had to go with the Storm Team 6 logo here with the raindrops on it today because of the rain that continues to fall all across central Indiana. It's going to be a wet afternoon and evening across the area. The good news is sunshine returns tomorrow briefly. We'll talk about that and look ahead to your weekend as well. Coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. The time now is 12:08. You're watching the news at noon right here on RTV6.
Live tonight on ABC.
While some small businesses wait to find out whether they'll get more federal help, nonprofit groups in Indiana can now apply for grants to help their general operations during the ongoing pandemic. Indiana Humanities will hand out more than $500,000 in grants from federal stimulus law. Nonprofits that offer humanities programming are eligible for grants that will range from $5,000 to $15,000. The deadline to apply is May 8th. There's more information on the grants and an upcoming webinar at the website at your screen. That's indianahumanities.org. Well, hospital employees are working harder than ever before, and now one hospital group has set up a way for you to say thank you to those workers. Franciscan Health says it's been overwhelmed with notes of support, especially pictures and drawings from children. So Franciscan has created gratitude walls at its hospitals in Indianapolis, Carmel, and Mooresville. The walls display notes, cards, and other items to show the staff just how much the community appreciates their work. The walls are updated daily, and we have information on how you can send notes for the gratitude wall right now now at theindychannel.com. Understanding the coronavirus is an important part of finding a vaccine. So up next, how one pediatrician who has recovered from the virus is doing his part to help the process move forward. And let's take a live look outside right now. This is our Weather Now camera down in Bloomington at the campus of Indiana University. You can see a gloomy Thursday forecast. We'll check in with Todd Clausen and get your full forecast looking ahead to the weekend. That's all coming up right here on the News at Noon. Stick around.
And Keller, right now.
Welcome back. Doctors across the country are hopeful that a new treatment method to fight COVID-19 is working. They're now asking anyone who's survived it to get involved in the fight against it. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us now with what you can do to help.
If you are someone who's recently survived the coronavirus, listen up. Your blood right now is filled with antibodies that can fight off this virus and potentially save the lives of those who are currently in the battle against this disease. And doctors want to see you donate plasma so they can transfer it to those patients. They want you to donate plasma so they can transfer those antibodies to patients who are in critical condition. In the last week at IU Health, this method has been tested on 4 patients. One of them was finally extubated after being on a ventilator for more than a week. Dr. Richard Keller recently donated plasma after testing positive for the virus in March. He says the experience was quick, easy, and safe.
But it was, they checked our temperature before we went in, questioned us if I was sick or not. And it was very kind of isolated. There weren't a lot of other patients around. So it's, I think, very, very safe to go donate the plasma. And I would encourage anyone who's COVID positive to look into it.
Dr. Keller says the entire experience took about an hour, and it feels good to know he's helping even more in the fight against this virus. To donate plasma, you have to be at least 28 days symptom-free, and you also need to have a laboratory positive test result saying that you did have the coronavirus. Working for you, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you so much. It is time now for a check of our Thursday forecast. Todd Clausen is standing by from home. And Todd, I told you yesterday during the noon show that I hadn't stepped outside yet to see the sunrise, or the sunshine, I should say. But today I've not even looked outside to see the rain out there.
You might not want to go outside. I know you have to, but as you prepare yourself to leave work and head home, you're going to be driving through quite a bit of rainfall. The windshield wipers will be going overtime here throughout central Indiana for the next few hours, at least, before we kind of taper these heavier showers off to just some scattered showers. Here's a live look at Storm Team 6 radar. Generally, the rain's been pretty light so far throughout the course of the morning hours. However, we're getting our first push of some heavier rainfall coming in, and it's already coming down in the Bedford area, and this is getting ready to move north up towards the Bloomington and Nashville area. So Bloomington at the bottom of the hour, Nashville just after the bottom of the hour. As we get closer to 12:45, that's when this heavy rain is going to move in. There's no lightning. It's just going to be more of what we'll call a downpour compared to the light rain you've been seeing so far. To the north here, it's just light rain that's falling across most of the area. You do notice once you get far enough to the north, Monticello over towards the Prue area, there's quite a bit of dry air up there, so you're not seeing as much in the way of rain, but you'll still have some scattered showers off and on. So we have two things going on here. If you look at this radar picture, you'll see initially some of the rain looks like it's moving in this direction, and then you have the area of low pressure itself down here, and that's pushing some more rain in this direction to the north. So we're starting to get into the point where we're going to see more of a persistent, heavier rainfall as this actual area of low pressure swings through the area. So from right now until probably about 2 to 3 o'clock is when the rain's potentially going to be the heaviest across the area. Once we get past 2 o'clock, I think the rain will kind of taper off from that steady rain to just some spotty showers across the area. Still into the evening, though, there's going to be that damp feel, but if you are looking to get out for a walk around the neighborhood, you'll want to have the rain gear with you, but I think there's definitely a better opportunity later tonight than there is currently across the area. Temperatures right now are sitting in the 50s. We'll stay in the 50s throughout the course of the day. We're not really going to see these temperatures move much at all going forward. Now, there is improvement tomorrow in the forecast. It's not completely sunny. We'll call it partly to mostly cloudy across the area, but the temperatures will warm with that sunshine. 60 degrees by the noon hour. 67 degrees will be our high temperature. And then as we look to the weekend, Saturday's another wet day. Sunday, some morning showers, then improvement. And we'll kind of continue this trend of every other day with rain, then sun, then rain, then sun. The good news is temperatures will stay in the 50s and 60s, and maybe even by the time we get to Tuesday of next week, Lauren, we're looking at a high temperature that'll be up to right around 70 degrees. With that warmth, though, and a cold front coming through, that will probably be our next best potential of seeing at least thunderstorms across the area.
All right, Todd, thank you. Well, if you are looking for an excuse to maybe get out of the house while still practicing social distancing, consider taking a little road trip to Randolph County. RTV6's Brad Brown found that burgers and ice cream at the Chocolate Moose are worth the drive.
It's easy to spot the history in downtown Farmland. Many of these buildings along Main Street have stood for more than 120 years. And inside the Chocolate Moose, there's a taste of nostalgia every day.
In a community where there aren't a lot of businesses, fortunately we're on a highway, so we still see traffic go through, but I think overall it's a little quieter.
It's a homecoming for Amy Davis and her husband Mark. Amy grew up just a short walk from the Chocolate Moose. Now they own the place. They've spent the past month getting used to meeting their customers curbside.
You know, there have been times when our servers have delivered a meal to the curbside and they've been blessed with a very nice tip that they probably wouldn't have otherwise gotten if they were in here waiting tables, and that means a lot to us.
It's been really encouraging to have people come up and say, and thank us for being open, thank us for allowing them to come and service them and a place to come to eat.
For decades, the Moose's menu of diner favorites has brought people from Farmland and way beyond. The main event is in the old-time soda fountain and ice cream menu. Phosphates, malts, shakes, sundaes, green rivers. You can get most of those to go now as well.
I find that people are ordering the basics. Cheeseburgers, bacon cheeseburgers. Tenderloins is one of our favorites. And so they're ordering what they're familiar with. Or even if they're not familiar with, they've read that, hey, this is really good, let's try this.
We try to put something out there every day, just kind of keep the Chocolate Moose in the mind of our customers, even if they're thinking, oh, I'm driving home from work, and I can just hop through and pick up dinner. As
time's gone on, I've seen people that haven't been in here that have come by. So I'm getting some new customers because their options are limited and maybe they haven't tried this yet.
Big thanks to the whole crew up there. By the way, the bacon cheeseburger was an A+. They've got T-shirts as well. That's pretty great, don't you think? Amy and Mark are hoping to have the shop open soon so they can serve up some proper banana splits as summer gets here. For more information about their hours, their menu, and their specials, check out the Chocolate Moose Farmland on their Facebook page. Working for you, Brad Brown, RTV6.
And yours.
Welcome back. Well, today on Good Morning Indiana, our Throwback Thursday story featured the legendary Bob Ross. We took a look back at the 1990 interview with the painter who became one of the most popular hosts in all of public television. Bob Ross's show, The Joy of Painting, was produced in Muncie, and he told former Channel 6 anchor Barbara Lewis that he got a lot of inspiration from driving across Indiana. But Ross also said that the message of his show was about more than putting paint on the canvas.
Believe in yourself. You can do anything that you believe you can do. But you have to believe. And that we try to teach people through painting that if you can see it here and you can believe that you can do it, that you can put it right up here on this canvas.
Well, as we first told you last year, the Miniaturista Cultural Center is renovating the original studio where Ross taped The Joy of Painting. It's inside the old Lucius L. Ball home, which housed the WIPB TV studios back in the 1980s. The Bob Ross Experience is scheduled to open this fall, and we'll have more information at our website, theindychannel.com/history. And there you can watch, or rather, you can watch all 403 episodes of The Joy of Painting at Bob Ross's YouTube channel. Todd, today would be a good day to maybe start some of those episodes, maybe start doing a little painting, because it is not the day to get outside.
Yeah, painting, coloring with the kids, anything you want to do, make those indoor plans. You know it's been raining for the past few hours, and as you see on Storm Team 6 radar, there's a lot of green on there, some yellows as well. It'll continue to rain across the area steady for the next few hours before tapering off this evening. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much, and thank you for making RTV6 your choice for news. We hope you have a great afternoon.